we had a pretty collaborative discussion about what those other cities did, some of the successes, the items that were going before those commissions in terms of agenda items, the involvement of the public as it relates to that. And so I feel like we kind of got the best of what other cities were doing and really revised ours, created this one so that it took a little bit from here, a little bit from there, incorporated the absolute necessary items that we needed to do from the city of Hemet, really tried to incorporate some of the community engagement that I know is really important to this community.
Great idea. Long overdue.
Long overdue.
Yeah. So with that, I'll need a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion that we introduce and read by title only and waive further reading on an ordinance repealing the existing Park Commission and Traffic and Parking Commission and establish a new Infrastructure Commission.
And update the term.
And
Well, actually, we're just repealing. I think that those items can be changed, amended in the ordinance, yeah.
We'll go ahead and change those in the body.
Okay.
And I'll second that.
Before we vote, should the term time frame be changed in the motion?
That's what we just said.
I didn't hear this motion.
We absolutely need to put it in the motion.
yeah, terms of 2 years.
Councilmember, since we're adding that to the motion, the change would be to make the first 3 members 2-year terms with 2 members with a 1-year term, and then eventually everybody would have 2 years. You could have the 2 members with 2, but it's set up to have 3 members with the longest terms.
Okay. Make that part of my motion too, what you said.
Please vote.
Ordinance Bill Number 19-031, an ordinance of the City of Hemet, California, repealing Division 6 Park Commission, Sections 2-221 through 2-245 of Article 4 of Chapter 2, Park Commission. Repealing Article 2, Traffic and Parking Commission, Sections 78-31 through 78-60 of Chapter 78. Readopting Article 2 of Chapter 78 as reserved and readopting Division 6 Infrastructure Commission selection Sections 2-221 through 2-245 of Article 4 of Chapter 2 of the Hemet Municipal Code to establish an Infrastructure Commission.
That motion
Thank you,
carries
Counselor.
5-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Okay. Now going on to item 18, fiscal year 1920, proposed budget, interim city manager.
So based on the presentation earlier, what I will do is we will incorporate the items that were talked about here and prepare the budget for adoption at the next regularly scheduled council meeting. I will add too that the budget document did not contain some of the items that provide a glossary of terms as it relates to some of the funds, some of the other information that might be beneficial for the community when they look at the budget. So we'll make sure to incorporate that in the next budget document that comes before the council.
So we aren't reviewing.
So we agendized the work study and the item that you have before you on both items in case the CAFR review took 30 minutes or an hour. So we wanted to make sure that we had noticed it properly. That was the basis of having the items agendized both.
Okay.
If there's any other input that the council would like as it relates to the budget, more than happy to get that now.
Sarah, were there any members of the public that wishes to speak on this item? How about members of council or staff or council? Hearing none. Well,
I guess, question of staff, do you feel like you have sufficient direction?
Yes, I do.
okay, with that, we'll look forward to next meeting, following meeting.
The next meeting before July 1, so
All righty.
we'll prepare the appropriate resolutions required for the adoption of the budget, so thank you.
With that, we'll go on to city council reports. Carly? Oh, no, Councilmember Krupa, sorry.
Krupa before Carly. RCTC is tomorrow. We will be finalizing that budget also. Ramona Bowl Association, the Summer Youth Theater rehearsals are in session, and Mulan will be presented July 1 and 2 at 6 o'clock up at the Bowl. The next League of California Cities meeting is a general meeting, which will be July 8th at South Coast Winery, and that will be a three-county meeting, Riverside, Orange County, and San Diego County's league divisions will be coming together for that meeting, so it should be fun. Also going back to Ramona, Summer Concert Series starts June 27th with Country Nation, follows July 11th with Desert Soul, July 18th with Como La Flor, which is Selena, and July 25th, which is Michael Law, who was a runner-up or winner of one of those singing things, The Voice. And it'll also be Rotary barbecue dinner that night. So definitely come to that because Rotary wants to make money if we can pay our bills. And that's about all I have.
I think. Meyer?
All right, our next Investment Oversight Committee meeting is June 17th. That's at 1 o'clock upstairs at City Hall. So we welcome anyone that wants to come. And if you have any questions, you can email us or the city manager. And then I have to share this since Kathy, our librarian, brought this to me. But her and I each had booths at Bay Point Academy, and it's a charter school, and so they had career day, and so the library had a booth, and then I had a booth for the city council, and Kathy brought that. She just left, but I wanted to thank her for that. But the kids made that, so it was kind of neat. So our charter schools are under attack right now, and parents get to have choices. My kids go to Tockwitz, but it's a great school, so I wanted to tell you that. Mike?
I was at RCA last Monday, and all I have to report back is the species of the month is the red diamond rattlesnake. No, but there is a reduction in the number, and most of them are dying because they're crossing roads and getting run over by cars. But they do have a rusty red coloration with a diamond pattern, and they can grow up to 4 feet long, and they extend from southwestern corner of Southern California southward through the Baja Peninsula. They are poisonous, so if you get bit by one, they don't always inject when they bite, but if you do get bit by one, the recommendation from staff was get medical attention immediately. So that's all I have. I will be in Sacramento on Friday for the League of Cities for Revenue and Taxation Policy Committee. Linda will be there too Friday. So at the next council meeting, I'll report out on what we discussed on how they're going to figure out to take more of your money. That's all I have.
Yes?
Yes, Water Master Board met previously, and I reported back on our last council meeting. And Traffic and Parking Commission is no longer, so, well, looking forward to some changes coming forward there. And the Western Community Energy Board meeting is tomorrow, and I'm an alternate in that, and I guess the mayor's going to be there, so I won't back her up on that one. Had an opportunity to attend the ribbon cutting last Tuesday on the 4th, I think it was, for the Quick Quack Car Wash. Michael was there. That was formerly Tommy's. Good turnout, good representation, and they were even offering the first 10 days of free car washes. So they have been slammed with.
But they won't vacuum the inside of my car, will they?
No, that's on you.
Yeah, sorry. That's not
Okay. And also was one of the council members, I think just about everybody was at the Caltrans informational meeting, which I'll just editorialize from my personal perspective, a huge disappointment. The questions that I asked of the engineers, I don't often use the term baffle-gab, but I think I got baffle-gab answers to a number of my questions. And specifically the question that I raised at that meeting with two of the engineers was, if cross-median collisions is a priority that justifies a raised center median, where was that effort made on the west end of Highway 74 at the city limits, just out at Four Seasons? Because we just had, I think, the 10th crossover head-on type fatality since I've lived here in the last 13 years. And I said, why don't you consider putting a K-rail type divider there? And he said that because it would divide the community. And I said, well, what about a divider like that goes up Lamb Canyon? And he said, well, there's no community on either side. So I'm really confused that they're concerned about dividing the community, but they still want to put a raised center median down the middle of our main street, because I guess we don't have a community that's going to be divided by that. Okay, that's my editorial off my soapbox. And also, there was a wonderful ribbon cutting celebration and ceremony for the brand new Soboba Fire Station. Carly was there. Really good representation. We had AMR was there. Hammett Fire was there. It was show and tell of their apparatus and our apparatus. But it was a really good event and a tremendous historic milestone for not only the Soboba tribe and their community, but also the addition of first responder capability that represents to our whole valley. So I was happy to be there for part of that ceremony.
Okay.
Oh, and I too will be going to Sacramento Thursday for the League of California Cities Public Safety Committee meeting.
Good. Western Riverside Council of Governments General Assemblies this next Thursday, June 20th. The Admin and Finance Committee is tomorrow, as is the Western Community Energy Board. So I'll be there for both of those. Homeless Task Force is at the end of the month. And Skate Plaza Task Force. Chris, we need to determine a date to bring that feasibility study back to council. Okay, so let's work on that. Okay. That's all I have. And ad hoc committee reports. Florida Avenue 74, where we all know, some of us attended the event last week. I had a chance to talk to the engineers as well. asked about having them do portions of the work at night so that it didn't interfere with day traffic, people going to work. And, well, there was one more thing. Oh, I talked about gas in front of Four Seasons. So, anything to add on that, Chris?
No, I don't have anything to add on that.
Budget Ad Hoc Committee, we spoke about that previously. We've met several times, and I think we're at the final gate. So, Special Event Funding Ad Hoc Committee. Chris, do you have anything to say for your interim report?
Yes, I have a few things. We have a request from the League of California.
Interim report from the interim.
Got it.
Okay.
We have a request from the League of California Cities to provide a letter of support for ACA 1, which would lower to 55% the voter approval threshold for cities and counties to fund critical public infrastructure and affordable housing. Currently, that threshold is higher than the 55%. So if there's any opposition to that, it makes sense to have the mayor on behalf of the council write a letter of support if there is no opposition to that. We'll make sure and send it over to legal to make sure that there's nothing in terms of that binds the city in a negative way. But if there's any member of council that's opposed to that, we'll not do that.
I'm opposed.
Okay. Is there any other member of council?
I'd like to look at it
Sure.
a little bit before I decide whether I'm opposed or support.
What's the league's position?
The league's position is to support ACA 1.
And that's to lower the threshold,
That's correct.
to raise a tax?
Currently, I'll read the letter so that everybody has it.
League doesn't usually support tax.
It's not to support a tax. It's to essentially have it be in line with measures related to school bonds, related to other needs. Currently, the threshold for special taxes is 66%. Essentially, this would lower that to 55%, is what the league is asking for the city to sign on letter of support for. So I will go ahead and read it. What I'll do is I'll read the fact sheet so that the council has that.
Well, you guys are up at the league this week. Why don't
Okay.
you?
I'm sure we'll be discussing that in
Yeah.
revenue and taxation.
Okay.
In fact, actually, let me-
Yeah, why don't you do that and then come back and give us the reason why we're supposed to support it?
Okay, well,
Or
so
is it time sensitive?
I think it is time
It's
sensitive,
almost time
but I got this on, I think it was last Tuesday.
Okay.
But I will say, if the council were to decide to support it, we will have it back to council to either formally send that letter of support or not. And I will just say that the soonest that we can do it is the next meeting in June. So
So can you send that out anyway, send it to us so that,
I'll send it to the whole council, and then we'll have it agendized for the next council meeting. And then also, too, the summer meeting schedule, I understand that during the summer, sometimes the council will go dark, and I wanted to pose to the council that we have the potential to go dark on July 23rd, August 27th, and September 10th. So we cannot go dark for the July 9th meeting. We do have a hearing that's scheduled for that day, but the rest of those meetings, the council can go dark if they choose to.
August 13th.
Oh, August 13th, I didn't have that.
So July 9th is the one that has that.
Yeah.
it's a pleasure of the council.
July 23rd, August 13th, August 27th, and September 10th.
Are we just picking one?
Or one or two. Yeah, so Sarah, city clerk, is saying that the council has gone dark in prior years for 2 of those meetings, so.
We have 3 special.
Yes. So, were you ready for a break after the budget in July? Yeah.
Second, did you say fun or fine? Okay.
That was the July 23rd.
That's the July 23rd date.
And can we do 2? August 13th?
July 23rd.
I would recommend going back to that.
Oh, back.
You're better off going the second.
August 23rd.
We probably shouldn't go 6 weeks without you.
That's correct.
Why not?
September 10th.
So August 27th or September 10th.
Yeah, it's going to be hot.
August.
August 27th.
Sarah, you got that?
Yes.
And then finally, the city council was invited to the 4th of July parade from the city of San Jacinto. And so if the council would like to participate, we will need to know that information as it relates to who would like to be a participant, who wouldn't. And then also, I think that's it on that. Just if the council would like to participate, we would need to coordinate vehicles, banners, and banner carriers as it relates to that parade. So is there any member of council that would like to participate in that parade?
It's usually 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Yeah, 9 o'clock, Thursday, July 4th. So I can send that, okay, so we can send that out to the members of the council. Is there anything that you needed specifically, Sarah, on this item?
I'll work with you.
Okay, sooner rather than later on that, because we need to prepare accordingly. So that's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Future agenda items. I have one. For several months now, Chris and I have talked about a business advisory council, which I think at this time is really appropriate, being that our economic development budget has been struck from the budget. So I would like to, we explored it a bit already, and so with the approval of council, I'd like to move forward with that. Okay, good.
Okay.
Direction.
Thank you, Mayor.
We don't have to vote on that, do we? Technically vote. Let's vote, just to be, yeah. All right.
Thank you, Eric.
Let's vote on moving forward with the Business Advisory Council.
I'll second.
This off? You can have we can have a voice vote if you want. That motion passes 5-0. Thank you. Any other future agenda items? Okay, with that, we will recess to closed session. Thank you for coming out tonight, and if you're not here when we come back, thanks for being here.